What is up, you guys? It is your boy, Pretty Boy Floyd, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing, well, not showing you guys, but I'm going to be telling you guys how you guys can get that sunken in cheek look, that gaunt cheek look, to get a slimmer face and a more defined face, to get a more attractive face. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that now. You guys already know, man, when it comes to trying to achieve a more structured and defined face, the first thing that you need to do is lose body fat. In every video that I talk about when it comes to losing facial fat, it's not about, you know, what kind of facial exercises can I do. That's all bullshit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Fucking chewing on a dog toy is bullshit. These things like Jawzrsize that like are supposed to like make you have a jawline is bullshit. These little facial yoga shits, these little facial yoga exercises and stuff like that, that's bullshit. So I'm just gonna put that out there right now. All that shit is a marketing scheme. Let me tell you what that's gonna do. Facial yoga is just gonna make you look stupid. Jawzrsize is actually just going to make your facial fat. Well, it's not going to make your facial fat bigger, but it's going to make your face bigger, and it's going to make your face wider. And I'm going to get into that later as to why that is. That some of these products like Jawzrsize or these are chiseled. Some of these things that make you essentially just chew on a fucking dog toy will actually make your facial aesthetics worse, and I'll get into that. But the first and most important thing that I want to talk about is body fat. You need to lose body fat. Body fat is obviously what is going to make your face appear fatter and wider and less aesthetically pleasing, and also you're not going to have that much definition. It's the same thing with your body. You have to lose body fat in order for your muscles to show. And yes, there are muscles in your face, whether you realize it or not. Eye movement, talking, chewing, things like that require muscle. So there is muscle in your face, and muscle can be built, and I'm going to talk about that later as to sometimes building muscles in the face isn't always a good thing. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the Masseter Muscle. But again, I need to stop going into point number 2 and get back to point number 1, which is to lose body fat. So typically around the 10% range for body fat is where you're going to see your face start to change. Now, depending on your anatomy and depending on your body, either your body will take the face fat off of you first, or it will be the last place. And now, if you're watching this video, you're probably struggling to get the facial fat off, you're probably digging, you probably have abs and stuff like that, but your face is still fat, or it's still round and doesn't have the structure. I'm the same way. Look, man, I was born with flat cheekbones, and I was born with you know, well, my jawline, it's kind of defined when it comes to facial fat. And when it comes to fat loss, that is all that you're doing. All you're doing is essentially making your body eat itself. And what that does is that it's going to use the fat that it has on its body and use it for energy. The more fat that you lose, the more definition that you're going to see, the more muscles you're going to see, the more structure on your body that you're going to see. So whether that be a bone or muscle or whatever, but you need to lose face fat. You need to lose, not specifically face fat, but you need to lose body fat overall. It's an overall thing, and you have no control of where the body fat comes off. There is no spot reduction. You can't do any certain exercise to make your body lose face fat. You have to lose body fat overall. So in order to get a lean face, you have to be lean all around. Now, there are some people who have a lean face and they're not lean all around. But guess what? Those are people who are genetically blessed like that. Either you could say that's a genetic blessing or it's a curse. Some people see it as a curse, some see it as a blessing. Some people say, man, my face is so lean, but I don't have a six-pack. Or, oh my gosh, I have a six-pack, but my face isn't lean. It all depends on the person's body, and all depends on the person's genetic makeup. So you have to lose body fat. This isn't, when you lose body fat, this is not a, I'm just doing this so I can lose face fat. You have to lose body fat, and you have to be educated in a process, and you have to know what you're doing. And you have to actually, for me, it's a passion of mine to lose body fat and to get down to that level. And I stay lean all year round. I just like the way that my body looks all year round. It's aesthetically pleasing to have six-pack abs and to have a defined body. So that's what I like to do. What you don't want to do is that you don't want to have this sprinter mentality where it's like, I'm just gonna get down to this certain weight. Then you get there and then boom, by next week you're back up to your original weight. And we really want to make fat loss a lifetime commitment. This is a marathon and it's not a sprint. Don't look for short-term results like facial exercises. It's the same thing when somebody says, I want abs. So then they start doing a whole bunch of crunches and start doing all these ab workouts. And what happens? They don't see abs, man. You have to lose body fat. It all comes down to body fat. If you ever want something on you to be more defined and more structured, lose body fat. How do we know when we're low enough? And a little test that I like to do, and this might be a little weird, but I think a lot of people probably do this. But basically, you want to feel your face and you want to feel right where your teeth are. And just don't press super hard, but press gently and just move it around. Once you can feel the indentions of your teeth from your cheek, you know that you're lean enough and you know that you have little body fat right there. And you know that it feels like your skin is very thin. It feels very thin. There's the same thing too, like when you're very lean in your abs, you will see a lot of guys pull their skin and stuff and rub on their abs and their skin looks see-through. It's the same thing with your face. And another thing that indicates that you're lean enough, that your face is lean enough, is actually your masseter muscle. Now I know I talk about the masseter muscle and how it can actually ruin your facial aesthetics, but another way and a good indicator to tell if you're low enough in body fat for you to get that gaunt look is actually to see if there's striations in your jaw whenever you chew food or whenever you chew gum. A lot of people who get really lean know what I'm talking about. When you get so lean that you can see your actual muscle fibers in your jaw. Now let's get into the masseter muscle and why the masseter muscle might be ruining your facial aesthetics. So these people who have sunken in cheeks and who have slim jawlines and defined faces and stuff, or basically they have this defined mid-region of the face. Whenever people have this defined mid-region of the face, you're gonna see that their masseter muscles aren't really that big, or they're not really that wide. Something that you can do, and this is something that I did because I just got so lean and I'm over here just why is my face not that defined? What's going on? I actually got Botox. Botox, yes, Botox we're talking about. Yes, I got injections and I got a cosmetic procedure to actually help with this.
Line of the how it kind of comes in.
Yeah.
So even though the Botox is going to be kicked in 5 to 7 days, that muscle bulk is still there because the muscle has to atrophy. So when you don't use a muscle, it shrivels up. It doesn't shrivel up overnight from not using it. So if you imagine, if you work out a lot, you can take several weeks from not working out until that muscle kind of shrivels up. Okay. But the clenching area is you can't clench that muscle when you actually clench. It's not going to bulge as much as it's not moving. But at rest, that contour is going to be probably a month before it comes in.
A month.
Yeah, typically. Okay?
All right. So basically, I had gotten, I think it was 12 units of Botox on each side of my masseter muscle. Now, if you look up how many units you should get for Botox masseter muscle, it's up to 50. I think it's 25 to 50 is the average. So I got way below that, but that was just because it was my first time getting it, and I've gotten it a total of 3 times. So that's 12, 24, 36 units of Botox, and I saw. It's a very slight difference, and you're gonna see a difference. The only thing is that it takes a while for you to see a difference. I think from day to day after you get the Botox, I was just I done wasted my money. It was about $300 for each time I've gotten that procedure. So $900 in total, but you're not gonna pay $900 at one time. It was about $200 or $300 for the first time. And I think after that it was around $200 or $300 or so, and I got that a total of 3 times, and you get it every 2 to 3 months. So every 2 to 3 months, that's what you get your Botox injections in your masseter muscle. And what that's going to do is that actually is going to shrink your masseter muscle. And again, we start thinking like, well, don't you want it to be bigger so that your face can be more defined? No, like your masseter muscle actually hides a lot of definition. It actually does. If you look at some of these people, if their masseter muscle is not really that big. Like my masseter muscle is pretty big, and I'm betting a lot of you guys who don't have that defined face, if you think that your face is chubby and you're a lean person, somebody who's below 10%, and your face is still not that defined, it's probably because your masseter muscle is too big. So I gotten Botox in my masseter, total of 3 times, 36 units. And I've seen a difference, and you're not gonna see a difference like right after you get the Botox. Like it literally, like the doctor told me, it takes 2 weeks for it to kick in. So you best believe every day I was looking at my face wondering, is it getting slimmer? Is it getting slimmer? Is it getting slimmer? But last time I got in Botox was in September, and it is now January. And I'm just now starting to see like a difference in the Botox. Like it literally takes a while for it to kick in. They say like, I think it's like 3 months for you to see like the full effect of it. Again, just like with fat loss too, it's weird because like you don't see the difference going through your everyday life. But once you like look back at photos and like compare your old self to your new self, you're like, oh, I can see it now. So it's very weird, but yeah, your masseter muscle can affect your facial aesthetics, and to have a big masseter muscle is not a good thing. Like it's not. And I'm tired of people selling chew toys online in order to get your masseter bigger. In order to get your masseter bigger, because it's not helping you out. It's actually making it worse. So what Botox does is it basically paralyzes the muscle and makes the muscle atrophy. So when it atrophies, what that means is that the muscle gets smaller. When your masseter muscle gets smaller, what that's going to do is it's going to bring more prominence to cheekbones, and it's also going to slim this cheek area of the face more. Again, because if you're somebody like me, where the masseter muscle basically takes up half of your cheek area, with it being atrophied and becoming smaller, what that's going to do is it's actually going to slim the face and narrow it down. And a lot of people actually see more definition in their jawline too whenever they get masseter Botox. So yeah, Botox is actually like a really good procedure when it comes to wanting to like slim the face. A lot of people message me asking me, I'm a pretty lean person. I lost a lot of weight, but my face is still chubby, or I still have chubby cheeks, or it's not that defined. One of the things that you could do, and one of the most inexpensive things that you could do, like to change your face, is to get Botox and a masseter. So that's one of the most inexpensive cosmetic procedures, I should say, to get done. All the rest of the stuff is, of course, you already got the body fat down. Let's say you already got the body fat down, and you did all that. The next thing is to do a cosmetic procedure, which is the Botox, which really helped me, and I know that it helped a lot of people too. Here's another thing that you can do, and I do this on photo shoots, and this is kind of like a mini peak week. If you guys have ever heard bodybuilders doing peak weeks and stuff like that, I'm kind of taking some concepts from there, and some tactics and strategies from peak weeks. So it's a form of water manipulation and salt manipulation, but it's not too crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's only 2 days that I do this, and this will be like right before a photo shoot. So let me get into that. So 2 days before a photo shoot, basically, if you are on a fat loss diet, you should be drinking plenty of water. For me, I aim to drink about a gallon of water. I like to drink water a lot. 2 days before the photo shoot, you cut your water intake in half. And also, you keep the salt intake to like a bare minimum. Like, don't salt your foods or use salt at all. And if you're somebody like me, I actually use like not a lot of salt, but I definitely don't shy away from salt. and I use salt on probably almost every meal. And if you're somebody like that who uses salt on every meal like me, just cut the salt out, and just try not to eat any salt, or try not to add any salt, I should say. Pretty much all the foods that you eat has sodium in it. Don't worry about it. All I'm saying is don't add salt to your food. Day of the photo shoot, right? Let's say that your photo shoot is at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, right? Do not eat anything and do not drink anything. I promise you, man, do not eat anything. The reason why I'm telling you to not eat anything, and again, I'm going to point to this Masseter muscle again. This is a muscle and it pumps up. And if you're somebody like me who has a very wide Masseter muscle, that shit basically covers your entire face. And in order to know how big your Masseter muscle is, just clench your jaw and just feel it. And you can see that mine is half of my cheek. Or yeah, it's about half of my cheek. So it covers up a lot, right? And another thing too is that if you have flat cheekbones and you have a very strong masseter, what's gonna happen is that this masseter muscle is connected to your zygomatic bone. So the wider that your masseter muscle becomes, the less prominent your cheekbones are gonna be. So I started to notice this little phenomenon when I actually started to chew gum. I was like, why does my face look a lot wider right after I chew gum? What's up with that? So basically when you eat, you're pumping up that masseter muscle and you're making it appear bigger. Same thing when you work out your biceps and you get that pump in your chest, it makes it bigger. It makes it look bigger. Same thing with your face too, with the masseter muscle. The more you chew and the harder that you chew, the worst thing you probably do is probably eat a protein bar right before a photo shoot, because man, I mean, not saying it's gonna look huge, but you'll definitely see what I'm talking about. And this is somebody who has a big masseter muscle. You might not have as big as a masseter muscle as me, but mine is pretty big, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys' masseter muscle is probably big too, and that's probably why you're not getting that defined look to you. Day of the photo shoot, don't eat anything. We already got that squared away. With water, if you can try not to drink any water. If you do have to drink some water, just make it sips. But basically, with this water manipulation thing, like I said, if you are drinking a gallon of water, you're probably peeing almost every hour or two. You probably go to the bathroom a lot, right? What happens is that your body gets used to peeing every hour or two. So when you cut your water intake in half, your body's still going to pee every hour or two. And then when you don't drink any water at all, you're going to see that you're still peeing. What you're doing is you're actually losing water weight when you're doing that. When you're peeing, you're losing water weight. And water weight looks a lot like fat, because water is stored in the fat cells. And your body is very dynamic. Your body is constantly storing and burning fat, and is constantly storing and getting rid of water. Same thing, it's constantly storing water and is constantly expelling water through your urine. If you cut your water intake in half and then you cut it to nothing at all and you still pee at the same rate, you're going to start losing some extra water, and that water is stored in the fat cells. It's going to start being expelled out. Don't eat anything, because it's going to pump up your masseter muscles, and it's going to be basically the equal length of your cheekbone, which is going to make your cheekbones look less prominent. And it's also going to make your face look wider and less defined. And don't drink any water, because what you want to do is you want to expel all that water weight out of you. And this is only for 2 days. Peak weeks are last for a week. You know what I'm saying? So again, you have to be already pretty lean for this. Not eating is also going to help you if you're shirtless and you have to show your abs too. That's also going to help you. So you don't look all bloated and stuff. I don't know how people can eat before photo shoots. I can't. I feel fat. I feel uncomfortable. I don't know. I can't do it. If I have my shirt off, man, I feel a little embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? I know I have a six pack and stuff like that, but you're not gonna get those obliques and striatus showing if you ate a full fucking meal. So like, don't do that. You know, it's crazy. Like, I started to figure it out, and you know, I thought I was going a little crazy because, you know, I'm always looking at my face. I'm always thinking like, what's changing? Like, why does my face not look as defined as before? It's just the fact that you're pumping up that muscle that's making your face look wider. Some of you guys can probably notice this if you have bigger masseter muscles like me. If you don't have a big masseter muscle like me, then don't worry about it. So that's the key right there, is to not to eat and to keep your water intake to a minimum. Another thing that you can do is actually go for a run and weight lift in the morning. Yes, with nothing to eat. Don't be a bitch about it. So go for a run and weight lift. What that's going to do, again, is going to get rid of more water weight. You already cut your salt intake down, and you've already cut your water intake down. You're still peeing, so you're still expelling water. And now you're also sweating because you went for a run and you weight lifted. All that is going to get rid of more water. That's a short-term solution, because guess what? As soon as you eat again and as soon as you drink again, you're not going to look as lean as you did for your photo shoot. I mean, that's just the human body. It's very dynamic. If you're very lean, you're still going to see your abs after you eat. Like, nothing crazy is going to happen. You just see a slight difference for real. But that's everybody. Whenever somebody eats, man, like you like your abs, by the end of the day, your abs don't look the same like they did in the morning time. Am I right or am I right? Like, when you wake up and go and look in the mirror, you look pretty damn lean compared to the nighttime. That's what everybody, like, I gained like 5 to 10 pounds from a full day of eating. You know what I mean? So like, that's a lot of weight. It's a lot of volume of food, I should say. That's a lot of volume. So all that is going into your stomach, and you best believe, man, you can't flex as hard on a full stomach. So don't eat, man. And yes, sometimes your little photo shoots are gonna be at 6 p.m. at night, and guess what? You still can't eat or drink anything. Keep it to a minimum. Keep the water thing to a minimum. Just drink sips. But again, if you can hold off on not drinking water before your photo shoot, that's the best thing to do. And working out and going for a run, again, it is going to expel a lot of that water weight. And a lot of times where we see water retention, that is in our faces. A lot of people who hold water retention, or who are used to water retention, when you first wake up, your face is going to be puffy. And that's with most people. Most people's faces are pretty puffy. And why is that? That's water retention, you know? But once you start walking around and you start doing your thing, that water retention starts to go away. And that's a common thing with people. I've seen that before. People wake up, their faces are puffy, and then, you know, they walk around for about an hour and they get up and they start living life, and their faces aren't as puffy anymore. So same thing, you just walk the water weight off, or like you work it out, going for a run, weightlifting, things like that. So last thing I want to end this video off with is to tell you guys, do not quit. Don't ever surrender. Just keep going, just keep pushing, you're gonna get there, man. I remember when I used to fuck up a lot, where I used to I was terrible on my diet, and I wasn't terrible on my diet, but there was a lot of fuck ups. And I had to find my own way, and I want to help you guys find your way too. So I hope that these tips helped, and I hope that they can help you guys, you know, do what you do. So yeah, that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, leave a comment if you have any tips on what you guys achieved to get a more defined face, or to get that sunken in cheek look, that gaunt look, the high fashion model look. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.